Welcome back. It's good to have you. It's nice to see you again. Listen, we've got a very special guesting workshop today. Very special project, and it's definitely not something that we normally do, but you're gonna love it anyway. Just wanna introduce you to a little friend. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't even believe it fit in here, but it fits. Oh, look at the size of that. There we have it. It literally fit in the workshop with 4 inches to spare, and I know what 4 inches is. Anyway, this isn't here for a full build, don't panic. We've actually got some exterior stuff to do on this. It's got a really posh door that needs to go on the side and replace the existing door, which ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna take a lot of thought and a lot of planning. The door has been painted already to match the side of the van. It's gonna be a challenge in itself. This van is gonna be a challenge. And then if we get that done, there's some interior mods that need doing. Not a lot, just some cupboards and stuff, bits and bobs that we can crack on with as well. But for today, given that I'm on my own today, I'm gonna try and cut the old door out. So we're gonna get rid of the old door, get that out of the way, and then concentrate on getting the hole perfect. Once that hole's perfect, we can sort of start putting the door in. There's a lot to it on this door. It needs packers to make sure that the door sits straight in its frame. It's got 3 locks on the door, so we're going to make sure that all the 3 locks close, because the door will have some flex in it until it's bonded in properly. So we've got to make sure that before it gets bonded in properly, it sits perfect. It's not going to be easy. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to working on this beast, but the door is going to be stressful. So far, I've taken the door out. Now I'm just going around the outside of the frame to get rid of the sealant with the multi-tool, because I don't want any of the paint to peel that way. I've just got to try and get this out now, which ain't going to be easy, but once I get that frame out, I'll show you the door. The door is complicated really, but a very good door. So I've got to cut on the outside to that lip and the inside to that lip so it sits in. That's what the door looks like on the inside. It's a much more substantial door, and then it's been painted. Oh, it's quite heavy. It's been painted on that side. It's much better locking, well insulated and all that, but I just have to try and figure it out going into that gap there, and it's going to sit more over that way. We're going to be cutting out more of this side. Although that opening is actually pretty much what it needs to be on the inside. I just need to go up. What could possibly go wrong? Just gonna take your time with this one. It's a beautiful truck inside. I don't want to show you too much inside because the owner doesn't really want it unveiling so much. So unusually, the last few clips that you've seen were filmed on a Friday. It's now Monday, and the Overlander. Oh, look who's back! Hi. Everybody's back in today. Andy and Lee are both back in. I bottled it. I bottled this one. This is a sensible thing. You should always do it. You should always have a second opinion when you're cutting out a hole out of anything, especially on something like this. You need a second opinion. So I got so far and thought, you know what, I'm gonna leave it. I'm on my own. I can't put the door in on my own anyway, so I might as well just down tools. So Friday, I cut part of it and left it. I know I measured it right, but you know, having a second opinion is good. So now Lee and Andy's in, we're gonna all measure it together separately and then get it going. But we have got 2 other jobs in today, so I don't want to take this outside just yet because Steve's here having some work done on his motorhome, and then we've got a crafter that's having half a build really, which is going to be for the next 2 weeks. He's having a shower built basically, and a shower and a kitchen. So we're going to leave this one for now because I need this outside so we can get the ladders out and steps out and everything. Leave this one for now. and then maybe at the end of the day, I've already drawn it, I'll show you. The battery's about to go on the camera, but it's a bit narrow down here, so the door is half cut out. I've had to cut a lot of insulation and stuff out. This is what the van's made of. So it's fiberglass, insulation, fiberglass. So this line is cut and ready. So this lip here is what the door sits into. I've just got to replicate that over here, and I've already drawn the line. I just wanted a second and third opinion on if it was right. It should be 620 millimeters. I know it is, but anyway, I'm going over it again. I don't need to go over it again. We'll get Steve's job out of the way. We've got to order some parts for this crafter, and then we'll get this out and get it measured up, get the door in. I'm so tired. I was violently sick last night. I don't want to mention it or go over it too much, but I was violently sick last night. I don't know if I mentioned it. Not right well. So, I mean. What are we doing to your van? What are we doing to it?
Water heater, bit of electric work, indicator, and flushing grey water.
Grey water tank's not draining, so we need to figure that out. It's going to be full of his hair and skin and... What are you doing?
Changing the fusible plug that goes in there that we're leaking.
So yesterday ended up being a bit of a disaster in that Steve's van took 3 of us all day. And did Steve achieve out yesterday?
Not really.
His van was worse when he left.
Well, he got an indicator fixed.
He got an indicator fixed all day. As with lots of older vehicles, especially motorhomes, the systems on them are outdated and they don't work. They're hard to fix. You can chase problems. We were chasing problems yesterday. We fixed one, another happened. So he's gone away. We're going to try and fit a new system to it basically. But anyway, it just took all day yesterday, which meant progress on everything else stood still. So progress on the Overlander didn't happen yesterday. All I needed yesterday was for a double check. I fully bottled it on Friday on my own. I just wanted a second opinion that I was cutting it all right. It turns out I was about right, but it's always good to get a second opinion. So Andy's just measuring it again. Andy's measured it about 5 times. He measured it yesterday as well. But because it's such a big vehicle, we're cutting it all out of, I want to get it right. It's just started pissing down as well, so that's ideal. I've got to cut one line reel, and once I've cut that out, the door's going in, then we'll figure out. The most important thing is to get it watertight. Everything else on the inside that's decorative or something, then we'll figure that out after. But we've ordered a load of bits for that crafter. They should be here at some point this week. Lee isn't here today, but tomorrow when he's back, he's going to crack on with it. Me and Andy are going to go get some material for that later when we've done this door. So it's all over the place this week, isn't it? What is it, 176? Alright, okay, cool. This is the door in question. As you can see, it's got a few different lips on it. So the measurement that we're taking at the minute is this from there to there. That's the hole on the external that we're cutting out. But the cutout on the inside is different. So we've got this awkward step here, as you can see, and that's going to sit in there. And then hopefully, even if it's a tight gap, hopefully the fly net and everything does fit, because that's the bit that I'm worried about the most, because I don't see how that's going to connect to anything, because it doesn't fit around this. So we need to build another wall on the inside basically. It's just going to be a faff, but the most important thing is to get that door in, and then worst case scenario, the customer has to figure out all the other bits themselves. Sorry. Door is in. It's not fully sealed yet, but there's a lot of sealant in there. We're just going to wait for it to go off a little bit and then put a bead around the outside just to make sure that there's no leaks or anything. Full disclosure, we made a bit of a mistake on this. Because we have to have all the locks lined up and we don't want any flex in the door, we've made some little shims so that the door sits perfectly level within the frame. However, once we put the door in, we realised that we don't have the key to that. and we'd locked it from the inside, so we had to take the door out again and unlock it. But I'm not sure what the customer's done with the key. We just assumed it would be on the key fob with all the other keys, but it's not. So I don't know where that key is. But anyway, we had to pull the door out again, unlock it from the inside, and put the door back in and seal it, which was a bit of a nightmare. But it's one of those things. We've not worked on this van before, so it's a bit of an oversight really. I don't know where the bloody key is for the door though. I've sealed it from the inside a little bit, filled some of the gaps with sealant as well. It's not straightforward because it's retrofitting. It's a bit of a nightmare, but now I've got to make a frame for the inside to pack it out a little bit because the frame of the door sits quite far in. Then we've got to try and put together the rest of it. There's a little step on the inside that doesn't fit this van, and then there's a fly net that doesn't really fit this van, so we've got to try and make all them things. I'm not 100% sure it's going to fit, if I'm honest. I don't think that fly net's going to fit.
You're not really?
I really don't think it's going to fit. Right, so I'm on the inside of the Overlander now. I'm not going to show you too much of that, although you might see it in the background anyway. But we're trying to figure out the door. This is the inside of the door. Whoa! There you go. That's what the inside of the door looks like. I've put the door in. I've also put this piece of wood in, which obviously matches the rest of the walls here, to block that bit off. I'm just in negotiations with the customer about how we move forward, because this step that it comes with doesn't work in this van because the door's higher up off the floor than it should be. But that's because of the shape of the van, not because we put it in wrong. It could only go in one place in the van and that's it. So that doesn't work. And then the next thing is the fly net doesn't really work either because there's no room on this side because we're right against here and we couldn't move the door any further that way because the hole was already there. So gotta try and figure out how we make this work, really. That's the stage we're at the minute. I think that step has got to go by Felicia and we make another step ourselves out of wood maybe. See how that works out for us. So me and Andrew have come up with this idea. We're using the original aluminium step for the time being, even though we weren't sure it was going to work, but we've just raised it up and put a platform underneath it, so it's still a step and it still looks good. So far that's how it's looking. I've had a chat with the customer. He knows that it's not a brilliant fit. We're just going to do what we can to make it a bit as good as possible. So the fly net is out. Just ignore the bits of silicone at the bottom. I just need to wipe that off, but that's what the step's going to look like. There's a spider on it already, which is nice, but once the fly net is in and secured in properly, it will work like so. I've got a piece to over the cupboard, put the light back in. We've got some more cupboards to build in here as well. A cupboard to build there, and then try find some way of cutting some slots out of here to make these storage all the way across. That's tomorrow's job, but for today I'm just going to leave all that stuff to seal up and set, and then tomorrow we'll get back on it. Today we are currently over capacity as far as work goes. I've just started doing this, putting some trims in this side here. All that's dried down the bottom step. I'm going to start piecing together the cupboard that was there, but making it a little bit bigger and extend it slightly. That is that job. But while we're at it, Bob's back and he's having an upgraded wheel carrier. You might be familiar with Williams. A van that we built a while ago last year, but he's wanting rogue alloy matching the rest. So we're putting the Williams kit on and the spare rogue alloy to match that. Obviously we've got the Overlander in. Andy's working on this T6 here. Lee's working on the crafter back there. We're all over this car park. The need for a new unit has never been so great. So watch this space. Good start that, Bob.
Yeah, that's that van that you want to have done with, isn't it?
Yeah,
that new van.
That's the one. Long wheelbase.
And that's your receipt.
4-wheel drive.
Receipt for deposit you've sent for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
It's
just having a new van built with.
Just a new customer having a new van built there. Yeah.
We're squeezing him in.
Getting rid of this bag of shit that he's got. Whoever built this, fucking hell.
Coalition vans. There's a big sign there, look.
Oh, did it?
Gone. T6, how did it go?
It went alright, it went well.
Did it?
Yeah, apart from right at last minute where I just forgot to put wire on sender, so I had to drop tank and put wire on.
I'll show you this tomorrow. It's a bit of progress on this, but we've got to go. It's 5:20. We gotta go. That in my direction. Andy's cameraman today, which
Gonna be terrible.
might need editing. We've got a Sprinter outside that's having a window fitted. We're just fitting that window outside in the rain now. Lee is on with the crafter, innit?
Yeah.
That's what he's doing now. So the Overlander ain't really going to get much done to it today because some of us are going to this campervan thing this weekend. Are you going, Andy?
No.
People are going to miss you.
I know.
Not us.
Not the
Other people.
Other people.
Probably some other people.
No, can do calipers on my one.
Go do calipers in his van. So, before we end this video, I will show you around the Overlander, see what I did yesterday and how that door's looking. Because you'll know, Andy, that door were a bit of a fucking pain to get all right on it.
Yeah.
But hopefully we've got it all right now. The customer's meant to ring me today.
Well.
Huh?
Them cupboards do as well, what you did.
Yeah, cupboards look alright, they're alright. Anyway, that's it. So I'm just making some framework now for the window that we're fitting to this Sprinter. In fact, do you want to show them Sprinter?
Can do.
You could do if you want.
Alright. Got window inside. So we've chopped it all out. Chopped the inside out. 15mm bigger for frame. Dun dun dun. Hi.
Hi. I'm Ed Winchester.
Hello there.
Me? I think it looks lovely.
So we had to do an extra bit of work on this in that we had to frame it all out and everything, and we had to carpet it. We don't have blue carpet, so it's carpeted with anthracite, which kind of matches up. But there we go. It's in. It's looking nice. Lee's cracking on with a shower, but we're now waiting for the shower tray from Roma World, and also a new shower fitting because the one that we've got doesn't fit. In the meantime, Lee is making the frontal for the overhead storage on this one. We're doing as much as we can for this guy, but it's going to take time, especially the shower tray is going to take 3 weeks or so to come, so this might be a 2-part build really. But the shower will be dead nice. So as promised, a little sneaky look around the Overlander. So this is what the inside of the door is looking like at the moment. It had a puck light here, but it would have interfered with the fly net, so I put a strip light across instead. So you've got some light above the door. This is all over the floor, so ignore that noise. I had to move the light switch over this way because the light switch was more over here. So I've moved that over. The fly net is in. The fly net is off centre because of this wall. We can't do anything about that. The door is off centre because of this wall, but it's all come together all right. This step should sit on the floor, this aluminium bit, but because of the way the door is, it can't sit on the floor. So I've had to build a step for that to sit on. So we've got a step there, which would have a step anyway, but that's just a little bit bigger than standard. But again, we're trying to fit this to a van that don't really fit. Down this edge here is all secured. The fly net is secured. The fly net works sexily, as with everything else we do. And then we've got a little opening blind in there as well, which is dead good. And then done some more work on this, as in built some overhead cupboards, added some lights to it. They need a little bit of work. There's some other jobs that need doing. Some of these cupboards over the back here, they're sort of voids really, but the customer wants holes cut in them so that they can be used even if it's just for like socks and stuff. But I've got to see what's behind there first. It might be more trouble than it's worth. And then at some point there's going to be doors on some of these cupboards, but again, that might have to wait for a little while. And then I assume there'll be a cupboard that goes all the way across there, but we ain't got the wood for that yet. But that's what the van's looking like at the moment. It is looking dead good. We are off to the camper van thing. So we're gonna go. So this video is gonna end here. It's been good to have you. It's been good to be back. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed this Overlander build. I'll try and do more on this van, but also more of this style of content and this style of build as well. Watch this space. Big things are come. Bye, Felicia.